Let me introduce Mr. Tony Brown. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you, John. I'm going to, and nice to see a couple of names I recognise, a lot of faces I don't. But yeah, I'm just about to play a recording of that 2-hour video that you can all now sit back and watch.
Fresh content we don't want now, Tony. So no pressure.
And then I can have a little sip of something.
No, but listen, mate. Like I said, I think obviously with what a lot of us have been going through, what we've all been going through over the last several months. You know, that video, I think, gave a lot of people that enthusiasm back, because I'm sure you've felt it yourself with your own business. So some people get a little bit what's the word, derailed when these bumps in the road come along.
Yeah.
But I know that 2-hour video, that 2-hour Q&A session has had a huge impact. So massive thanks for that, mate.
What did I say? I can't remember.
Well, you kept going, and it was plenty full of nuggets. So listen, without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself to the team, and we'll crack on.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll give you because there probably be some new people that haven't heard me speak before, but I'll give you some background, my background, how I got involved and why I got involved in CFX, and my journey since then. My background is predominantly financial services, 25 years. Had a very successful, I ended up specializing in the financial services industry in the 2000s in the mortgage arena. Like anything in life, it doesn't matter what your chosen topic is, but if you want to carve a niche for yourself, specialize in a particular area. And that was my arena. And within mortgages, my speciality was helping self-employed people get mortgages. And in those days, you could do self-certified mortgages. And I knew all the tricks of the trade. I was very successful at it. I had a very successful business. It all came to a very abrupt end in the last financial crash. And 90% of my business was for the self-employed, and it all stopped overnight. So that was the end of that. So I almost went bankrupt. I came within 1 month of losing my home. They were about to repossess it the following month. And I scraped my way through it. And how I managed to do that was I discovered something called Forex trading. So I spent 18 months trading the Forex market. I actually ran a 2-hour seminar 3 times a day. Well, I did it with somebody else, but for helping people learn how to trade the Forex market. So I know quite a bit about that market, but I made some money. It helped me through a difficult time, but I learned after 18 months of staring at screens 10, 12, 14 hours a day, that to make money consistently is very, very difficult. So I lost 4.5 grand in 20 minutes one Friday afternoon, wiped out the profit I'd made for the whole week and more, and decided that's it, I've had enough, and that's job best left for the professionals. So as a result of that experience, I was on every mailing list to do with Forex trading, you can imagine, for the last decade. And over that decade, I looked at 2 or 3, just to see, because the approach was very good, and let's see if anything was any different. And I never saw anything any different, and I never got involved in anything. So I was hesitant. I know money can be made, significant money can be made in that market. And I got to a point in my life in 2020 where I needed to start making some money again. I'd done various things over the last 10 years and done okay. But I needed to do something that was going to start to earn me good money again, money I'd been used to earning previously. I'm at a time of life where the mortgage I sold myself 15 years ago is coming to an end, and I needed to create a pot of money through income, through earning it, to pay that mortgage off. So I decided that I've got to get back into the financial services market. It's a market I know, and it's been good to me. I left school at 16 with 1 O-level maths, and it's CFX that has made me realise why that is. So the numbers thing, I get numbers, so that's where my forte is, I guess. So lockdown, summer 2020, I spent the whole of that summer revising, taking exams, getting my qualifications up to speed again. And in the September of that year, I was waiting for my FCA license to land. I ticked all their boxes, and the plan was to start my brand new mortgage broking business 1st of October. I was not looking forward to it. I did not want to do it, but I know I can make it work. It's going to be hard work. It's very different to what it used to be. But that's where I was when I got a text message from, I'll say she's an acquaintance. And some of you probably know her, Lisa Scott. And she sent me a message and it said, "Have you ever traded the Forex?" And I said, "Yes, why?" I said, "Do you want to watch a video?" And I went, "Yeah, all right then." She sent me a video and I watched it. I didn't see anything different than I hadn't seen before. And I pretty much dismissed it. And I said, "Thanks." And she said, "I'll be in touch." Isn't it funny how the universe works? No one has ever contacted me before, but within 24 hours, about CFX, but within 24 hours, I got another message, this time from a friend in Canada, someone I would consider as my spiritual mentor, very successful guy. And he reached out to me and I said, "It's not CFX, is it?" And he went, "Yeah." "How do you know that?" So I just looked at a video. So I dismissed it pretty much because I was focused on doing something else. I was going to run my financial. I spent all summer gearing up to starting this business. And I sent him a message and said, "No, because of my relationship with him and the high regard I hold him in, if he's involved in something, I need to look at it." Okay, so that's where my mindset was. And I just said to him, "Is anyone making any money?" And he came back with 2 words, "and some." That was the text message I got back. I said, "Okay, show me the money." And he did. We hooked up on a Zoom call with Declan Dowling. Declan I'd known for over 20 years, his financial services background as well. And Declan had got involved in the May of that year. I think he started on $300. He was trading 7,000 by the time I saw him. And my words to him were, "Why the hell didn't you contact me? Because I've spent all summer swatting for these exams. I could have been doing this." That was my thought processes. So I said, "Okay." And because I had the time available to me, I spent 2 weeks researching CFX. Not in the evenings after work, because I wasn't working. I spent 2 whole weeks. There is nothing anyone can send me, video, blogs, comments, threads, whatever online that I have not seen or read before. Okay. I read everything. If I came across a blog or a thread that said CFX is a scam, it's not FCA regulated, it's a Ponzi. And by the way, those are the 2 things they fall down on every single time. Ponzi, FCA. That's it. That's what it will boil down to. And I read the threads going back to July 2019. I spent over 3 hours one day reading one thread of comments. And I boiled it down to those 2 things. So the month CFX started, the haters started. And I have no doubt that the haters that are out there, and they're on their mission, fine. I have no doubt they have genuinely unearthed a few Ponzi schemes, fraudulent pyramid schemes, scams, and they've unearthed them and brought them to people's attention and hopefully saved people some money in the process. Great, good on them. But the trouble is, they think everything is tarred with the same brush, and they are not able to take their blinkers off to see further than their own, I was going to say a different word then, their own nose. And that's the problem that they have. So that's where I was at. So the very first thing I did in my research was I Googled CFX scam, because I'd been around the block a bit. I know there's two sides to every story. So let's see what people are saying. I've heard it from my sponsor and my sponsor's sponsor, and I can see the money being made and I trust them. Let's see what's being said. So that's what I did. 2 weeks I did that. And I said, right, I'm okay, I'm ready. My first thought was $300. It's a punt, it's worth it. I chose to come in at $1,000. One, because it's 800 quid. I'd be pretty cheesed off if I lost 800 quid, but it wouldn't change my life. So you come in at a level you feel comfortable with, you're not going to lose any sleep over. And the second reason was that I recognized that would save me some time. You know, it can take a $300 account passive 2 years to get to 2K. You know, anything that saves me money at my time of life, I'm up for it. Thank you very much. So that was the reason I did that. And I made the decision to get involved. I discussed it with my partner at the time, and I said, okay, I've been focused for 6 months to get this new business off the ground. Whilst I was doing my research into CFX, my FCA license landed. Great. I said, right, I'm going to leave it 1 month. I'm going to run with CFX for 1 month. And it's not going to be the end of the world if I start it 1st of October or 1st of November, my mortgage business. And that's what I did. I started on $1,000. And at the end of October, I was trading $10,000. I've never put a penny more of my own money in. And I'd hit the rank of executive. I had 20 people in my team, 11 of which I'd introduced myself in the first month. So I joined on a Wednesday, which meant that my trading account was going live on the Monday. On that Monday evening, I had 11 people on a presentation, a live presentation. I drew up a list. I had 16 people on the list. I thought it would be hot to trot with this. And long story short, I had 11 turn up. I hadn't earned a cent in CFX. I had no trading returns to show people. I had people say, I need to see this working before I can share this with others. Well, if you want to see it working, look at John's account. Look at my account. Everyone's account on it, any account you like. If you want to see an account that's been going longer, I've been here 19 months. John, I think about the same, not long. If you want to see someone's account who's been around here for 2 years, go and watch their account. They'll do it. They'll share it with you. You won't believe the figures, but so all this stuff about, you know, you either choose to get involved for the reasons you choose to get involved, but I don't buy into this. I need to see it working for me, because people think the minute they join with their $300, you've got $1 billion business on your hands, but the minute they join with $300, they think it's all going to collapse and the CEO is going to run off with their $300. So I had 11 people on the call. So out of my 16 people that I approached, I didn't ask them to come on a call. I said, what are you doing Monday night? Nothing. Why? You're coming on a Zoom call. I'm going to send you a link. You need to be on a Zoom call. What's it for? It's about making money online without you needing to do anything. I've done my research. I'm in. If you want to join, fine. Come on the call. 4 people said, no, 3 people said, yeah, we'll see how you get on first, Tony. 1 person said, best mate of mine, I wouldn't touch that with an effing barge pole. And I had 12 people say, okay. 1 person forgot and 11 turned up. All 11 joined, not all straight away. 1 of those 11 joined last month, the last one. And it's a neighbor of mine. And she came knocking on my door a month ago out of the blue and said, okay, we're in. Time doesn't lie 18 months later. So Of the 3 that said we watch you, by Christmas, so 3 months later, all 3 had joined. Within a month of those 3 joining, and they joined at anything from $300 to $1,000, a month later, the $300 account had upgraded to $5,000. The 1,000 had upgraded to 15, and the other 1,000 had upgraded to 30. That leaves one person, my best.
You can help extend the life of your.
Sorry, you have to unmute, mate. That always happens. When someone jumps in, I'm unmuted, I always click on mute and it just trips up to your name at the same moment.
You know, you can mute everyone on entry.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that left one person, my best mate, and after 6 months, he phoned me up one day and said, "How's business?" I said, "It's incredible. It's nuts." And he said, "Oh, I didn't realise mortgages were so popular." So I said, "What are you talking about, mortgages?" Because having seen 1 month of CFX, and I thought, and the penny dropped, I thought, okay, this does work. My head said delay mortgages for another 3 months, turn of the year. My heart knew I was onto something. So he then came back to me and he joined. So they all joined. Time doesn't lie. I've now got people joining that 18 months ago said they weren't interested. So 3.5 months, I got to manager. 5.5 months, I got to director. 7 months, I was on 100K, all from profits. And I think, looking back, my strength has been my financial services experience, in that it taught me to look after your customers. And by what I mean by that is I didn't leave them out in the cold. If I sold them a mortgage, if I sorted out a pension scheme or an investment program, I didn't disappear. I kept in contact with them, at least say once a year, because those people are going to be moving house. They're going to want more financial needs or whatever it is. And it's the same with this. People think that they get very excited when they bring on board a new person. That's great. But honestly, the work starts then. You think you've done all the work, you've signed them up. And I'm saying to my guys in my team, as I'm helping onboard people, I'm saying, right, are they in the Facebook group? Oh, no, I'm not done. Are they in the Telegram group? Are they in the WhatsApp group? No. Well, how are they going to get any information? All the information you take for granted, how's your new person going to know what's going on? Because the people that disbelieve this are the people who are disengaged. And they tend to be on accounts less than $2,000. That's my experience. They're disengaged. They haven't logged into their account since God knows when. They're not in the Facebook group, or they don't see the stuff, but they're not engaged. And I sent a message to someone only earlier today who sent me a screenshot of something someone's found online. And I'd said, when was the last time they were on a training call? I've never seen them on a call. And yet they will spend the time going to YouTube, going to Google, finding all the crap that's out there. If they spent half that time engaging with what's going on in CFX, your mindset, because this is all about mindset, their heads would be somewhere completely different. One of those people that told me that this was a scam and followed me for 3 months before he got involved, his 20K account yesterday capped out. I told him, we've had many conversations about it, that he told me to my face in my kitchen drinking my beer 18 months ago, Tony, it's a scam. 3 months later, he came on board. I mean, I'd given up on him, and he said, oh, okay, here's $1,000, I'm in. And from that, he saw it working and upped his account, 20K, and he's just let it cap out because of the withdrawals issue. Okay, and I just said to him, you'll be back, mate. You will be back. You have no idea what is going to happen, because he took himself out of the WhatsApp group. He removed himself. He was just, his head just wasn't in it. And he'll be back. I just know he will, because with what's coming, we're all sat on a precipice here, and this is all it's going to blow your minds. John knows what's coming. He's been to Panama. You've got a great leader here whose finger is on the pulse, and John isn't doing this full time. I am. I've been doing it I'm lucky. I've been doing it full time, since day one. And that has added to my success and the speed that I've done what I've done, because I have been able to do that. I've had the time, but I made that decision to give it the time. You've probably heard the phrase before, treat this like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. Treat it like a business, which is what I did from day one. I was only for 4 weeks. I gave it 1 month, and I ran with it for 1 month. 1K to 10K, 20 people in my team, executive. I wasn't going to take my foot off the gas then, was I?
So you've got that foundation built. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding that strong foundation, because then once it gets over that precipice, there's literally no stopping it, is there?
Well, it's my team is much the same as yours, John. Seeing your figures, my team is 3,100. I personally have introduced 48 people to this. The 48th person was my son, who turned 18 a couple of weeks ago, who's been champing at the bit for the last 18 months.
Yeah.
And he's already made his first introduction. He's got 2 more lined up. I've told him, concentrate on your bloody A levels, for goodness sake. You've got all the time in the world for this. But he's champing at the bit. So, I describe it now. I mean, I have an average of 6 people a day joining my team. It's great to see your numbers on there. But my figures, literally in the last 12 months or so, because I keep a record, it's averaging 6, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. It's pretty much 6 people a day, 7 days a week. And I said to someone today, it'd be like standing at the ocean and trying to stop the tide from coming in. You build this to a point where you can't stop it. I said to someone today that, I can't stop the team growing. I can't say, whoa.
Yeah.
And consequently, I can't stop my income from going up.
And the beautiful thing is that, like, trying to impress upon everyone. I mean, we've got 60 people on tonight's Team Zoom. That's awesome. I mean, we normally hit around between 30 and 40 people on Team Zoom. So you've packed in an extra 20 tonight, Tony. But yeah, that's what we often say to people is, like, if you could just focus on this, like, for a year, 2 years, you can create something that will be an unstoppable train moving into the future. And we've said it on many calls in the past. I mean, Richard Maud put it pretty well when we had a Zoom. We used to have quite regular Zooms with Richard Maud. And he says, once this phase 2, and I know we've been waiting for phase 2 a long time, so I know there's going to be people saying we're still waiting, but once this phase 2 rolls out, it's just going to explode everybody's businesses beyond recognition. So that's why I've been trying to instill upon the team, just keep going, just keep building that foundation, because whatever you create between now and the rollout of phase 2 is going to be monumental for the business.
Yeah, it's an understatement. You just can't explain it enough. It's with what's coming. It's mind. I'm working on a training call I'm doing for my team. My team calls clash with the kickoff call next Tuesday, so it'll be the week after, and I'm going to do a whole session on daily compounding, copy trading, daily compounding. There's a daily compounding calculators that you can find online, and I'm going to ask them, what figures do you want me to put in? What balance do you want me to start with? What daily trading amount should we put in? And we'll press the button. And, you can take a $300 account, $300 starting capital, and let's say you added to it $100 a month, and then you factor in less a smaller return, not the returns we're getting at the moment, but a lesser return than the copy trading accounts are getting at the moment. And you're a millionaire in 2 years.
I hope you all heard that, guys. I hope you all heard that, because that copy trading is...
Does it compound daily?
Absolutely. Sorry, Donna?
Is it daily compounding or weekly compounding? Daily. Wow. So,
so hopefully that's instilled upon you, you know, the excitement of what copy trading is going to be for all of us. Guys, if you've got questions, right, feel free to, you know, drop them into the chat. Hyacinth has just said, I'm curious to hear more about that. So I don't know if you can elaborate any more. I mean, do you need to really?
Well, it's all, you know, I had a copy trading account 12 months ago. And it was, unfortunately, at the time, it was with EverFX. So it didn't, you know, it lasted a couple of months and that ended. But this is a year ago, over a year ago. No, when did it end? I think it ended about May last year. Yeah. And EverFX got closed down for operating in the UK. So I've done Forex trading. I've never seen anything like it before. It is staggering. I put $1,000 in my copy trading account. It's called social trading. You open an account with the broker. CFX will tell you which broker, obviously, because they've built multiple broker relationships around the world. You open your account with the broker. You do your KYC with the broker, because that's the relationship you have. It's nothing to do with CFX. You open an account. You deposit your funds. Up to you how much you deposit. And you instruct the broker, you give the broker a code, and that code is linking to copy any trading signals that Edwin is giving out on that referral link, effectively. And you sit back and you get an app and you get every trade showing on your phone. And I used to do it on my training calls. I said, right, well, here's the trades this week. There's 15 current trades, 14 are in profit, one's in negative, you know, whatever it might be. And I was in that account for, I think, 6 or 8 weeks. There weren't new trades every day, because it's beta testing. They're trying different things. But I can tell you that I had to close the account because EverFX weren't able to operate in the UK. And I came out with $1,290. So I made a 29% return in 6-8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I can tell you there were 29 trades, 27 of them won, 2 lost, and the smallest winning trade recovered those 2 losses. That was 12 months ago, before the talk of AI technology.
Before the talk of AI.
Before AI was even mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, I was on a call today, and on the cruise at the big first week in December when they had the cruise, and one of the people that was on the cruise, I don't know if anyone here was on that, but Edwin was talking about the AI technology, because it learns. The more information you give it, it learns, and it said they gauged it. It had the learning capacity of a 5-year-old. Yeah. By the end of the cruise, 5 days later, it had the learning capacity of a 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. So that was in December. Where is it now? And their goal was to give it back-tested data for the last 10 years. And it learns. And the kind of returns that they're getting, more in one day than we get in a week.
So we've had one comment in the question. I missed that bit. I think Fiona was talking about the actual bit about, and just was about to start barking because Mum's just got home. There you go. Off you go. Could you just do that bit again about starting with a $300 in a copy trading account and what it can equate to over a couple of years? Could you just do that one bit more? Of that
I'll go one. I'm going to go one better than this, because
here we go. He's got his spreadsheets out.
I'm going to find it, because I was playing around on the calculator earlier.
Better make you a co-host, hadn't I? We love this when Tony gets his spreadsheets out, you know. Erica will be with you in a minute on that one, all right?
Just bear with me. Right, that's it. Okay.
Hyacinth has said, so completely passive, just to decide which trades we want to copy? No. Once you set up your copy trade account, you literally, it's just the flick of a switch in effect, and it just automatically copies what the CFX guys are doing. So we don't get to choose anything. You don't mess about with it. You just let it be.
Okay, so here's you can play around with this yourselves, guys. I'm trying to find. I'll move the Zoom bar.
So this is the calculator.
The calculatorsite.com.
Right.
You need to go to daily compound interest, and then you need to pick the third tab along, daily compounding. You put an amount in, the amount of capital you're starting with. Here's $300. This is a daily amount. Now, I know we're getting pretty much half that at the moment, but honestly, they're getting upwards of anything around 7 to 10% in a day. Whether that will feed all back to us, but this is where I come to that. You know, I don't want to put in here 5% a day, because we're not even getting that per week at the moment. Let's be realistic. Let's say we get, and by the way, if you do your research into CFX has averaged 6.13% per week since it started. Over 6% a week since it started. The 6 months pre-pandemic, the returns were more than double that we're getting now, and that was with the EA technology. The returns, they had 3 months, or was it 4 months? I think 3 months where they made over 40% return. 1 month made over 50% return. Pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So 1.5% in a day isn't even what they were achieving. And Edwin has made it publicly clear that his goal is to get this back to pre-pandemic returns, which was 2% a day. Yeah. Most people don't even believe 1% a day, but they were getting 2% a day.
Well, I remember those days, because I actually joined on the 15th of Feb 2020. So that was literally
perfect. There you go.
2% a day.
Best month of the year, that was. Mm-hmm. I think January and February, and I do in my presentations, January and February were the 2 best months of that year.
Yeah.
What happened in March? Pandemic came along. Yeah. So 1.5%. But for the purpose of this exercise, you can change the percent. You can play around with this yourself. $300 in, 1.5% a day for 2 years. Are we going to include weekends? No. Deduct weekends from the time? Yes. We're going to add $50 a month. What's that? 35 quid?
Mm-hmm.
Just to top it up as an exercise. That's pretty achievable for most people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to click calculate. You're a millionaire, 2 years.
Wow.
This is what's coming, guys.
So is that's the actual what you'd have in your account as your fund, as your equity, right? Because it compounds and adds to it. Yeah.
Yep. Daily compounding.
So
2 years.
So what is 1.5 pence? Let's go for what's 1.5% of $1 million account.
Well, let's be sensible.
Oh, I don't like being sensible all the time, Tony.
Let's put 1,000 in and not add any more money.
Right. Yeah.
2 years.
Oh dear. Oh, that's rubbish. I'm going home.
Let's talk about the sweet spot. You sat down?
Yeah, it's all right, I suppose.
So when I say to people, you are sat on the edge of a precipice and this is about to go viral, There's 60 millionaires on this call. Every single person on this call is going to be a millionaire with CFX. I don't care if you're passive and you haven't introduced anyone. You've only got to do what I've just shown you.
And let me ask you a question, right? This is to everyone. Do you think you'll be worried about what we've been through for the last 6 months when that comes?
Thank you, John.
All right. So, yeah, we're going through a bumpy road.
People will have very short memories as to what we've been going through for the last 6 months. I
think you've just hit a nerve looking at the chat. So, brilliant, Tony. That's awesome. Not sure. This is the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. And seriously, this isn't the golden chalice. This is the tip of the iceberg. They are working on so many other things as well. I had a conversation with John Lurstop in the head office in Panama. Okay, he actually cornered me and Alex because I took my son with me, and he sat down with us in the billiards room, in the pool room, and wanted to know about us, who we were, what we're doing here. I said father and son, blah 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 blah. And he got into talking about the trading. He got into telling us a little bit about that, and he also got into telling us that we've actually only seen a quarter of what these guys have in store for us.
Yep.
So when you hear that from someone like John Lurstop, I've actually had John Lurstop on the call with me this week because he's going to Oslo. I think they're in Oslo now. And he was trying to bug me to get out there this weekend. And I've had to pass on it on this occasion. But it's like, John Lurstop's giving me a phone call. What's that all about? But a lovely guy, an absolutely genuine guy, and if Alex is on here, I know he'll come out and agree with me. Just the fact that he just sort of came over and started talking to us, the two shy white guys in the corner of the room, and it was awesome. Right, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Erica, because I know Erica's got a burning question that she wants to do or wants to ask.
Actually, I do have at least two.
Erica, introduce yourself. Let Tony know where you're calling in from.
Yes. Hi, my name is Erica. I come in from Sweden. I was introduced, actually, Anita helped me to get in here with the starting package. We have been in another platform in digital marketing for years. And she knew I was in deep trouble because of COVID hit. So I have quite huge debt on a credit card for my business. And I was, minutes from being bankrupt when she reached out to me. So from my $300 account, I started to recruit new people. This was in December. I have now 13 of my own, and I have a team under that. So in total, 20 people under me. So doing full-time job also, and another business, I think it's okay, but I would like to do much more. So here's my question for you is, I have, you had 11 people, I have 13, almost the same, but I am now on $1,000, soon upgrading to $2,000. What's the difference here between you and I would really like to know that, to learn how to do this in a smarter way, more effective. So maybe I think you instruct your team members in a way that is effective, how to take care of the team under you. What's the process?
Great question. And there's several things. I don't think there's one. Well, the first thing I've already mentioned is look after your people. Make sure they're informed.
Yes.
I learned within a couple of months as this team was starting to grow. And, seriously, I don't care how long you've been in CFX, every day is a learning day. I was on a call with Adrian Knight the other day, he's a president. And on that call, we had this conversation, every day is a learning day. On that call, as a CFX president, he learned 3 new things about CFX he didn't know from the 200 people that were on the call. So, but what struck me was, as much as the research I'd done, once you're on the inside looking out, not on the outside looking in, you learn a lot more, a lot quickly, and you start to learn about how it all works. It struck me that there wasn't anything that was available to help me as a brand new newbie understand what struck me is people have come in on trust. I don't think anyone comes into this with 100% certainty. I came in having seen the evidence that I did with probably 95%. At the end of the first month, I'm 100%, and I've been 100% ever since. Yes, it's been a bit of a bumpy road from time to time, but that happens in business. You know, that's what it is. So it struck me that if people understood what they had their hands on and how it worked, they'd believe in it more. If they believed in it more and understood it, guess what they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're going to add more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I come back to my example earlier where I had 3 people that said, we watch you. So what I did, and by the way, if anyone, we'd probably all experience this, where people are, no, not for me, thank you very much. And they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to themselves. Just keep them informed. I just once a week send them the weekly returns. No message, just a return, just the slide. The end of the month, the slide. The year-to-date figures, drop the slide. Just drip, drip. And with their permission, would you have any objection if I keep you informed? No, not at all. They think they've gotten rid of me. And I just drip feed them. So that keeps them informed. They can see what's going on. And then once they become a member, is explaining to them in the best possible way I could to help them understand what they've got their hands on. Adrian Knight came on as a guest presenter on my training call the other night. And the first thing he said, is this all members only training? Just like this one. Okay. There'll be brand new people on the call. There'll be people that have been around for maybe 18 months or so, whatever, 2 years. But he said, I guarantee most of you on this call have absolutely no idea what you've got your hands on. And so I then set about doing a training session once a week, specifically for bare capital training only, because we've all got bare capital. We've all got money in the trading pool. Yeah, we can talk about, if I recruit 3 and they recruit 3 and we're all going to be gazillionaires. But let's be honest, let's just talk about how the platform works, and for someone who doesn't introduce anybody, and the income streams that can be generated from that, and how the matrix works, and how the matrix can reward people who don't introduce anybody, and deliver that training for them. Their belief level goes to another level. They see it working. They see that every day I share the daily return, and the daily return that's given every account from 300 to 100,000. And we've all been there. We've all seen those slides. What's the first thing you look at? You look at your account. I'm on $1,000. I've made $35 this week. What do you then do? What do your eyes do? They go down, don't they? And they look at the amounts the bigger accounts are on. And then what people do when they understand what they've got and how it works, if they've got the capital, the spare capital to do it, they will add to it. So I supported them, not in terms of helping them grow their team. I supported them in terms of getting helping them understand what they've got works. And sometimes it was one-to-one Zooms. Sometimes people couldn't come on the training calls, whatever. And I would just spend time with them, showing them my account, working them around their account so they knew where everything was. Then that gave them more confidence. And then they've added more capital. Then they start sharing it. And here's a shocker for you. People will do what you do. I had someone who wanted to build a team who came in on $300. Guess what all his team did? $300. I said, do you realize how many people you've got to get in a 30-day period to hit executive? It's 160 odd, I think. You need 160 new signups in the 30-day period to hit executive if they're all coming in on $300. You've got to be pretty good to do 160 in 30 days.
Yeah, especially with a full-time job.
I had to help shift his mindset
to
get off this, because it was his issue. but he was passing that on to everyone else. He was frightened for everyone. And we all have our own comfort zone. I came in on $1,000. I had 11 people on the presentation. My cousin, who lives in France, said, "Great presentation, Tony. I'm in. 20 grand."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was I've been in less than a week. And I've got my cousin wanting to dump 20 grand in. And I felt uncomfortable. So I said, "Hey, tell you what, do $1,000. And then if you want to add more later, add it." He said, "Okay." He thought about it overnight. He texted me the next day. "Great advice, Tony. I'm doing 20 grand. So that was lucky. Okay, so that's obviously going to help me get more rapidly towards executive. But my numbers are very similar to yours, Erica. But it's going to be down to how much money people come in. But it's not how much they come in with. It's the upgrading as well. It's either a combination of upgrading and or sharing the opportunity. So
what I hear
for me it's about helping them understand what they've got. Yeah. So I've just done it on this call tonight, sharing my screen and showing you, helping you understand what the hell is coming.
Yeah. So what I hear that I can improve, because I do have a big email list and I know how to, do all that stuff. I can attract people. I can attract more people than I can bring on board, to be honest, because for me, it takes hours and hours to bring them aboard. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I think it takes forever to get to these platforms and verification processes and everything. But my next goal is to start doing live webinars. For my other business, I did 60 live webinars last year. So I'm comfortable doing that. But I was going to ask you, I looked at your presentation yesterday for new members. Is it possible to get a copy of your slides so that I can translate and do my own version in Swedish?
No, I've made that mistake before. I've given my slides out before. They've been doctored. And when they've been quizzed about it, they say I got them from Tony Brown.
Okay, I see.
So I'm not doing that anymore. I've been advised not to do that. I'm happy to send out copies of the recording. I can send a copy of last night's recording to John and he can share it with his team. No problem with that at all. You're welcome to come on my presentations if that's what you want to do. I know. John,
because I want to learn, how to do this myself and create my own. And I would like to do it in Swedish because I think a lot of I'm from Sweden. They are comfortable hearing this in their own language. Yeah.
Okay. One big sticking point in getting anyone on board is the process, isn't it, of creating digital currency accounts, especially if someone doesn't have that already available to them. It's becoming more and more difficult to open these accounts. It's taking longer. Here's what I've done right from the very beginning, because I'm a technophobe. I'd heard there was a real hurdle for me joining CFX, and it was the word Bitcoin, because I had heard nothing. I didn't understand crypto. All I'd heard is people invest in Bitcoin and lose money. That's all I'd heard. I didn't know anyone who'd made any money in Bitcoin. I only knew people who'd lost money with Bitcoin. So this was a big hurdle for me. But if it wasn't for the fact that I knew the other side of this hurdle, people are making money in CFX, I had to get myself over that hurdle. So I'm very conscious when we're talking to people that they've done their research, they've come on a call, a presentation, they've got their questions answered, and they're saying, I'm in. Here's my credit card, my debit card. What do we do? That's when you take a big, deep breath and you think, oh my God, right. You're going to need to open up a digital currency exchange. You ideally need a decentralized wallet as well, such as Exodus. You need to get your money from your bank account once you've got all through the verification, which can take anything from 24 hours to a week to get verified. And it goes on and on and on, doesn't it? I had someone, when I opened up my CryptoPay account, it took me 4 hours of constantly resending my ID until eventually it got accepted. It's a pain. So here's what I say. Great. I explained that money in and out of CFX is in Bitcoin and the reasons behind that. I explained that. Everyone's happy with that. That's fine. Well, you need an online post office. If you were going to go to the States and you needed to change your currency to US dollars, you go to the post office, get your cash, but we're just doing it online. You're going to change your sterling or whatever your currency is into Bitcoin. Fine. There's a quick way of doing that, and there's a long way of doing it. The quick way is, and this is when you're speaking to your warm market, friends, family, stuff like that, is you say, well, if you want, I'm happy to help you out. You know, like, and trust me, obviously, because you're getting involved in this. Send me the money. I'll put it through, and we'll buy your CFX account with your money through my exchange. So what I say to people is, look, there's two ways of doing this. One is fast and easy. The other is longer and more protracted. And often before I've even finished that sentence, they're going, oh, I'll do the easy way.
And I've used that on many occasions as well.
Yeah. The sales process is that, as much as I say you don't need to sell this, and you don't, because it sells itself, but actually someone saying, right, I'm ready to buy, is called a buying signal. It's the best buying signal you're ever going to get, because they've got all their questions answered. I'm in. The last thing you want to do is put a hurdle in front of them.
And Ray Sinclair did a perfect training on that, Erica, last year, which we have in our team resource website. He did an exact training on, speeding up the process of getting rid of all the hurdles for people. And it's essentially, you send the Bitcoin across, they send you the currency, and you send the Bitcoin straight in.
Yeah.
I want to move on. So I've got another hand up here.
I just would like to add that my problem is that my customers, I don't know them. They are coming in from all over the world, and I don't know them.
But if you were to get onto a Zoom and build a relationship, and then you can give them that option.
I've had complete strangers send me money.
Right,
after I've done a Zoom call with them.
Let's. I know Donna's had her hand up for ages. So Donna, do you want to?
Thank you. Well, first of all, Tony, thank you so much. I've dived into the rabbit hole of videos of Tony Brown, and I've been watching all of your videos, and I find them that are so easy to understand and very clear. So thank you very much for that. That's really helped me. So I've been watching those. I've got a couple of questions, which kind of links in. So I've got a waiting list of people that want to join that can't join at the moment. Would you suggest that, and that's the US and the US mainly for me, would you suggest that I get them to at least set themselves up with their, exchanges and wallets, so that when the time comes, they're ready to join straight away, which leads into the question of, is it premature now to tell them to do that? Because I don't want to kind of get them to start setting themselves up, and then it's going to be another year.
Do it. Get them ready. Get them ready now. Get them ready now. It's there are so many things that we're so close to, and obviously North America opening up is one of those. I've got to be careful how much I say, because I've not been held to a non-disclosure agreement, but it has been. Don't hold me to this. I've got to be careful what I'm saying, because this is recording.
Look, we can't honestly, we can't make any dates.
No, we can't. And I won't. I don't want to say something and it doesn't happen, because it's quite possible, because, CFX, one thing they won't do is announce something prematurely. And it's been hinted to me that it's so close, even to the point, what I will say is they've effectively been given the go-ahead. Okay, so we are that close. Whether that will get announced on Tuesday or not, I don't know. What I do know that they want to do for Tuesday's call, and that's why it was delayed from this week, is they want to demonstrate how the debit card is going to work in the back office. So that's going to be a great call. But honestly, I have a very strong team that's been quietly building over there. Emanated from Canada when Canada was already open. and they've been champing at the bit for all this time, and it's about to explode.
Exactly what you need to do, right? And I'll show you my US.
Get them ready, Donna. Get
my
them
US
100%.
list, right?
Right, so I've got like 20 people.
Get them ready, and just keep them informed.
You can see here, Donna.
Weekly, monthly returns.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it too close so you can't zoom in, but all these names are my US list, right? So they're all waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all waiting.
Okay.
They're all chomping at the bit. So, like Tony said, make sure that you're building just as a, keep them informed. Keep them informed on the results. Keep them informed on, so that when the doors do open, it's just going to go boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, because I've been saying it's going to open for like a year.
Yeah. But listen, patience is the key in this business. One thing we've all learned is how to be incredibly patient, right? That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they're not, the last thing they want, Huascar wants, is to open up something prematurely and then shut it down again.
Sure.
Because all the T's need to be crossed and the I's need to be dotted. And they open up with confidence, and this thing goes to just with that happening alone, let alone phase 2 and copy trading will take this to a whole new level. And then when you factor in the copy trading as well, and the copy trading, by the way, is linked to the USA opening up massively, because pool trading is illegal over there. That's why it's not open in the USA. But get them ready, 100%.
Get them ready, get them right, get them lined up. I'm just running through the chat. We kind of covered, we've had the question about the US, North America. We kind of covered that. Hope that answers your question. There's no promises. It will be here when it's ready, basically. Something that John Kinnear did obviously mention on last Monday's corporate call is he mentioned that there's going to be an event in London towards the end of this summer. And I've already told you guys, in order for that to happen, certain things have to be in place. I'm not saying any more than that, but just rest assured, certain things have to be up and running.
That is the global launch of phase 2.
I wasn't going to go that far, Tony.
But phase 2 encompasses so many other things to this.
Yeah. All right.
And before I joined CFX, before I was a member, all I kept hearing was phase 2.
Yep.
The real money will get made in this business in years 3 to 5, and we're in year 3 now, when phase 2 opens.
Exactly.
That was being told to me before I joined 19 months ago.
And I know that a lot of us have been hearing that. I mean, I joined in February 2020, and we've been hearing that pretty much since the summer of 2020. And I know that has got a lot of people's noses out of joint, because they're saying we're still hearing this same thing. Well, yes, we're still hearing it because it hasn't arrived yet. It will arrive when it's goddamn ready, quite simply. This is the kind of thing that I love about our corporate team, right? One thing that I like about Huascar is he doesn't get pushed about. He won't allow himself to be pushed about by the field. Right now, I've been in companies.
Not even his president's council.
Not even his presidents. Now, I've been in companies over the last 17 years where they will bow to the network, right? And that's the wrong decision, guys. Because if the CEO, the owner, bows to the pressure that the network is putting on him, that often ends up in the company crashing and burning for one reason or another. Right? So we've got to be incredibly grateful that Huascar is the guy he is. He's he's an outside of the box thinker, and he's very committed to this project, 110% committed to this project, to making it what we all want it to become. Right, can't see any other questions. And Tony, we've been on for an hour now, mate. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you tuckered out yet? Oh, you're good.
Hang on, let me check.
I just wanted to say, Tony, that
what else was I going to say? There was something. It'll come back to me.
It'll come back. Right, let's go through the chat. Anyone? No.
Yeah, Haran said he was late. Can we go through copy trading? We've done that. Probably
catch the replay.
Watch the recording. Yeah,
catch the replay, buddy. It's all on here. Right. Almost was Exodus, but intrigued who Tony is. Right, so Marcus says, I'm sure most of us use Exodus, but he's intrigued to know, who does Tony and his team use for buying Bitcoin, especially up to larger packs with 5K, etc.?
Swissborg. Kraken.
Okay.
Kraken has become sticky in the last couple of weeks. What you've got to, I know this is a pain, crikey, how many accounts have I opened since I've been here? Probably the same for you, John. But this arena is, we are ahead of the curve. This is cutting edge. It's a fast changing industry. It's almost like it's built on quicksand, isn't it? What is favorite this week is not favorite next. What is working best this month is not working best next month. And that frustrates a lot of us because we're all human, and a lot of us don't like change, and we go through the pain and the hassle of opening up an account and the verification and all the rest of it. And then blow me, a month later, that platform isn't as good as the next one, and I've got to open it. But that's what it is. That's just the arena we're in.
Yeah.
Whether that will always be the case, I doubt it very much as this evolves. I read something today that said only something like 2 to 3% of people on the planet have any Bitcoin right now. Mm-hmm. We're cutting edge. This is CFX has, been heading towards its fourth year in a market where only 2 to 3% of the world's population have any Bitcoin. It's a fast changing landscape, and there's going to be a lot of change. This was hammered home to me in a meeting today. There is going to be a lot of change coming, all for the better, obviously, but don't think that what you've got right now and all the pain we go through with the withdrawals, onboarding people, exchanges is all going to stay like that. There's going to be a lot of change. It's evolving, and Huascar and Edwin probably already know clearly, because Huascar's got, what impressed me was he has a 20+ year vision for this. Mm-hmm. And when I looked at it, I did not want to get involved. Remember my background and what I was about to do, launch a business. I did not want to get involved in anything that had a 6 or 12 month life expectancy. I needed to see longevity. And I'm going slightly off tangent, but I'll tell you what was the longevity I'll tell you what it was that made me see the longevity and was a key ingredient in me joining CFX. And that was the business model. So people say they're a bit nervous when they're coming in with their $300,000, $500,000 or whatever, that the CEO is going to run off with their money. And I say to everyone, they are not interested in your $300. They're not interested in your $1,000, your $5,000 sweet spot, your $10,000, your $20,000. They are not interested in that. Mm-hmm. What CFX is interested in is, by the time your account gets to 100K, and there's a few of you on this call that are on 100K accounts, what does CFX get when your 100K account caps out? Anyone want to tell me?
Want to put it in the chat, anyone?
What does CFX get when your 100K account caps out?
100K.
No. Where's the trading account go? Thank you, Sam.
70K.
Yeah. So if anyone lets their account cap out before you get to 100K, you've just given the company profit. Why do you want to do that? Get your account to 100K. It's the 70K they're interested in. Now do the maths. 400,000 members. Get a calculator, type in 400,000. Let's say every account renews once a year. I'll tell you now, John's isn't, mine isn't. Richard Maud's is renewing 2 to 3 times a month. Mm-hmm. Okay. Type in 70,000 times 400,000. That's an annual income minimum for the company.
Yeah.
That is over and above any trading returns that the company are taking. They're not interested in your $300. That, if it takes 5 years for a $300 account to get to 100K, and then let's say it takes another year to cap out, that's a 6-year business model. They will run that account without you lifting a finger other than pressing an upgrade button 15 times. They will manage that account for 6 years without taking a penny out of you for doing that. But guess what? They then get 70K, and they get 70K at least once a year from you. That's what the company is interested in. That, to me, says longevity. What a phenomenal business model.
That's a 28 with 9 zeros behind it. That's a lot of money. Anyway, right.
Per annum. This isn't going to be a billion. It's already $1 billion company. This is going to be a $1 trillion business. I learned only the other day that it took Apple 7 years to turn over $1 billion. CFX has done that in less than half that time. Apple is a household name.
Scary stuff what we've got hold of here, guys, isn't it? So that we had talked about this in the past. Unicrypt.com. Okay, I don't know if any of you have actually tried it yet. Now, this was a gentleman that I actually bumped into by the pool in Hilton, Panama, the CEO of this company. We just got chatting with this chap by the pool on our last day. And it turns out he was the CEO of a company called Unicrypt.com, a non-KYC crypto trading platform, but you could also buy Bitcoin. Has anyone used it yet? Anyone? So I'm on the precipice of bringing in one of my fellow Gold Circle members, and I'm going to be using this to get him set up in the next few days. So I will let you know how that one went, all right? But I'm pretty confident. I've checked out the website. There's something like 60 million users of the platform globally. So it's a very highly recommended platform, and I will give that a shot and let you guys know. Right, Tony, I think we've stunned the audience, and we've still got 57 people on. So I don't know if we need to go on anymore. I think we've done our job.
I've just remembered the one thing I was going to say.
I'll go for it.
And I got this from Justin Halliday today. And that is that the copy trading that's been going on now for quite some time through multiple broker relationships around the world. And they dropped a lot of brokers during that process that have not come up to the mark. And they grade them A brokers and B brokers because they need to be top notch and they need to have the resources to cope with what CFX are doing. CFX is being approached by banks now to be able to direct their investment customers to CFX and bypass. They want one particular bank wants CFX to deal direct and cut out the broker. That's how big this is going to be. And a little birdie tells me that Waskar says, no, you've got to buy a trading account. You've got to be a member of CFX. We're not going to bypass the system. But we have, and this is now, before even the launch, you've got banks asking if they can invite their investment customers to be a member of CFX. If anyone gets any sleep tonight, you'll be getting more than me.
Right, Donna, go on. I see you got your hand up.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. The other thing that I wanted to ask was, in the past, I've heard you saying that maybe they'll close it and it will become an investment club. I mean, with all this, I mean, it blew my mind at the beginning and it's blowing my mind even more now. Is there still any talk about that the doors will actually close to new people coming in? It doesn't seem like it from what I'm hearing now for phase 2. that it's just going to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah. What will, and John Kinnear talks about this, and he's well versed with the trading because he's done it. What will restrict the growth of this ultimately is the amount of money being traded. So it'll come to a point where it'll be so big that maybe it starts to become difficult to place the trades. Now that is quite a way off yet. That isn't going to be anytime soon. But Richard Moore has also he said, and I follow that line of thinking. So you imagine, and I did it on one of my videos when I mentioned 7 reasons why CFX isn't a Ponzi, and one of those reasons is close the door on it. Close the door on it today. Let's say midnight tonight. No one can join. What's going to happen to our accounts tomorrow? It's going to carry on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to get paid the trading returns. We're still going to be upgrading our accounts. We're still going to cap out at 100K and renew. And it carries on for us. And like you say, maybe it can become some sort of investment club. But it will evolve. And I can see it changing its format, if not once, maybe a couple of times before it gets to that kind of stage. But honestly, Donna, by the time that happens, 60, we've lost 3, we're down to 57 millionaires now, not 60. You won't be worried about that.
I think those 3 have probably just passed out. And
Richard says this, doesn't he? He says it's the pioneers that get all the arrows, but it's the pioneers that get all the best bits of land.
Yeah.
And we are all pioneers. We're all early adopters in something that's going to be massive. And in years to come, people will say, oh, look at you. That's that Donna. She's lucky, isn't it? She got in early. You made your own luck.
Yeah.
You took the plunge when others didn't want to know. And, yes, we will make more money than the people that are going to join later this year and next year. Yes, we will. But because we got in early, that's just the nature of the beast. With anything you get in early, you're going to do, and it becomes successful, you're going to do better than the latecomers. That's how it is. That either floats your boat or it doesn't. When I looked at this, there were 80,000 members worldwide. And my attitude to that was, well, that's not enough to fill Wembley Stadium. There's now 400,000. It's grown 5-fold, despite all the problems we've had, 5-fold in 19 months. What if it grows another 5-fold in the next 19 months? That's 2 million. What if they close the doors then? So what? We're in.
And hopefully all you guys that are on this call tonight have taken massive advantage between now and that time. That's what I've always said, take advantage, build your foundation, keep sharing it, keep talking to people, because yes, we've got bumps in the road, but we're still building. We're still bringing in 20 to 30 people every single week to the Freedom Chasers team.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're all building. Yeah, you're building the foundations you're building are incredible. Yeah, we lose a few people along the way. I've got a personal friend of mine who's let his 20K account cap out. And I said, you're nuts. You could have you've got the money in your account to take that to 30K. It's going to cost you $10,000 to upgrade to 30K and get 50% more returns. You let it cap out, it's going to cost you $20,000 to stay in the same place. To me, it's a no-brainer. I'll pay the 10, get a 50% more return, but he's lost confidence in the money coming back. And I said, mate, you'll come back. Yeah. He said, maybe I will, but he's disengaged. He's not engaged. He sends me screenshots of all the rubbish he sees online, but he's not engaged. He's not been on one training call that I've done.
Yeah. And you're right, guys. I see some of you in the comments saying that John Kinnear mentioned getting into the millions on the membership. Yeah, he did mention that the other day. Right, we've got one question in here. What are your best tips, Tony, for attracting people to CFX? I know you use social media to a great effect. I love the way you post and you create that interest. What would you say? Would you say that's your most popular strategy? or do you
No, pick up the phone.
Yeah, pick up the phone, one-to-one.
Pick up the phone. If you're initially going to speak to your warm market friends, family.
Yeah.
I drew up a list of 16 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't text them. I phoned them.
Yeah.
So what are you doing Monday night? Nothing. Why? You need to be on a Zoom call. What's that about? Yeah. If I did it now, I don't have much time to do that now. I've still got a list of people I haven't contacted. If I did it now, I'd do it the same way. I built my whole business by driving people to the live presentations.
Yeah.
Okay, some people couldn't get on those calls, so I sent them the Success from Home link, CFX Success from Home 3 videos.
Yeah.
And people joined via that. But people see what they want to see. Oh, there's Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. It's not for me. Yeah, great, whatever.
Yeah.
Any objection if I keep you in the loop? Made another 5% this week. Made another 20% this month.
Drip, drip, drip.
So yeah, you do not have to convince anyone to join CFX. All you need to do is convince them to come to a live presentation. That's it. From there, they will have questions. When you first start, you can't answer the questions. Try not to answer the questions, because if there's a question you can answer, guess what will come next? Another question. Hook up with someone in your upline who has more experience and is willing to help and help them get their questions answered.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, when you've done it a few times, guess what? They're all the same questions.
Exactly. And any advice on re-engaging those members who might just be a little bit off the boil now?
Well, that's a good one. What have I done? I get people, it's no different. I expect you get it as well, John. I have people who are understandably concerned because they made one withdrawal request in October. That got cancelled in January and they're still waiting on it. So in their mind, they're 6-7 months waiting for a payment. And I get that, but it's the only withdrawal request they ever made. It's just unfortunate timing. Other people who made withdrawals more regularly have got paid more regularly. So they reach out and they are disengaging. And I can only do my best. My friend has just capped out on 20K. I've done my best. I've reached out to him last week. I said, you're on 199%, mate. You're going to cap out. And we talked it through. And I'm not here to, it's his money at the end of the day. But hand on heart, I know he'll come back. He's made that decision. All I can say to them is for goodness sake, come on that live call with Waskar on Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
Be engaged. Come on the training calls. Especially if you've got I am going to drive everyone at my calls are Tuesdays. And okay, it's Waskar's call next week. The week after, I've given you a flavour of it already with that calculator. That's what I'm going to be doing. I want to make sure everyone gets on that.
That's
everyone that can get on it.
That is a great example of what's coming with that calculator. Right, listen, guys. I think we're going to let Tony get on. We've hit the hour and a half. I think we've all enjoyed it massively. I'm going to put us back to gallery view. One last one. I know you know about business accounts, don't you, Tony? In order to open a business account, what do you need to have in place to open a business account, and how many can you have?
How many you can have is one. You need to be a director of a limited company.
Yeah.
If you are already a director of a limited company, you could have 20 limited companies. You can only have one more CFX account.
Yeah.
So if you've got a husband and wife team and they are both directors of one limited company, that's only one more account. That's not one account each because you're both directors. You would have to. So I formed a limited company. In fact, I've formed several of them for all our family members that I manage. We went to the accountant and opened up, I think it was 8 or 9 limited companies. Great. And then end of the financial year, last month, I got a letter from the accountant saying, right, all these limited companies, we need receipts, we need bank statements, we need invoices we need, and I just wrote back one line saying they're all dormant. Oh, okay. The limited company just needs to exist.
Right.
So if someone looks for it on Companies House, they will find it, and they will find you listed as the director of that company. So the entity that owns the second account, the CFX account, is the limited company. But as a director of that company, you have the right to manage that account.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be a sole trader. It has to be a limited.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Open one up. It's not difficult to do. You know, okay. Because I don't do paperwork, I'm not a paperwork person, but I'd rather pay my accountant to go and sort all that out, and he did, but he charges for it. That's how he makes his living. Great.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of people in my team that have gone online and done it from anything from £19.99 to 70 quid online. Now, there's another aspect to this you need to be aware of. You cannot have more than 3 accounts in the same household.
Yeah.
So if you've got your account, your partner's account, maybe another family member's account, there's your 3. If you go in open up a limited company, you do not want it registered to your home address. So if you're getting someone to open up, to do this with or through or via, find someone that is happy for you to use their address. So all the accounts, limited company accounts that we opened up in our family are all registered at the accountants. Mm-hmm. Because he says he's got 400, I think he's got 400 limited companies registered at that address.
Wow.
That's unacceptable, but as a household, can't have more than 3.
Okay. Right, well, listen, Jane asked just one last question. This is the last one, guys, okay? Asked Erica, when you're dripping those messages to your prospects about the returns, what do you use? Messenger, text message, what email? What do you use?
All of the above, whichever one works for them. Seriously, yeah. If it's people that have engaged with me on Facebook, it's through Messenger because I don't have their personal number. If they're personal friends of mine, it'll be on WhatsApp.
And I'll show you what I actually do, Erica. If I just quickly open up my Messenger. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but you can see I've got prospects chat 5, 6, 1 through to 7. Okay, I've got 7 prospects chats, and basically what I do is I ask obviously people that it's not, the timing isn't right. I say, right, well, do you mind if I keep you engaged, just let you know what's going on? I've got a specialized chat just for you to go into. They say yes, and I just put them into one of my prospects chats. And every week I'm dripping to all these people. So that would be what I'd say. Right, well, listen, Tony. I think everyone, let's put it on gallery view. I think everyone will give you a round of applause now, mate, because I think everyone was very impressed with, and yeah, cheers to Tony. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate you coming on this evening.
Excellent.
Pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, John. And sorry it took so long.
No. We could stay on for another hour, I'm sure, mate. But, you know, we've all got lives to lead as well, right?
Yep.
Tony, it's been a pleasure, mate. And I look forward to...
See you all at the top.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the director's chat, buddy.
At the top.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
See you all in London. London at the launch.
London. End of the summer. Don't forget it. Right, I'm going to stop the recording.